I'm at the Kathmandu guest hotel. We arrived yesterday into Kathmandu at the international airport here, 24 hours from Australia. We had some storms in Bangkok that held us up, but it was amazing. We came in over the Himalaya. We could see Everest, Amadablan, all the mountains were just so beautifully clear. Rivers obviously running because there's been a lot of flooding going on and very green here. But today we're exploring Kathmandu. We're going to go and look at some UNESCO sites. We're going to get to meet the team, which will be awesome. And we're hopeful that tomorrow we'll be able to head off to Lukla. We're not sure how we're getting there yet, so that's still to be worked out. The floods have taken out roads and bridges, so that's been quite devastating here in Nepal. But looking forward to enjoying our time here over the next 17 days. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we're going especially also so you have to celebrate.
Single room, especially as we go higher. And the tea houses are going to be basic, so expect the most basic you have ever seen. And I can say and expect that it will be a little worse than that. So just like we're going, it's not like I don't want to explain. It's going to be very basic, couple of beds with not so thick, thin enough mattresses. Like there will be probably enough room to put the duffel bag in between the beds or somewhere side, but it will be small, cozy rooms.
Finished with our briefing and hopeful that we'll be able to find a way to Lukla tomorrow. We enter into the streets of Nepal for some last minute shopping. Today's been our first full day in Nepal and here in Kathmandu, and we've spent that looking at two UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The first of those, the Hindu temple Pashupatinath, and that's more of a complex, a village type arrangement, about 265 acres in that area. I think the most confronting thing we saw today in that sense was the burial rituals that the Hindu people go through, the washing of the bodies in the river here, which is considered holy and actually flows through to the Ganges in India, and of course into Varanasi, which is the holy place in India of the same Hindu belief system. In that there was interesting number of pyres, the fires in which they burn the bodies and then the ashes let down. Quite different to Western society, where death is quite private and kind of behind closed doors. Here it's out in the open for pretty much anybody to see in that sense. We then went from there to one of the holy sites for Buddhists, that is Buddhabinath, and the stupa there. I believe that stupa actually in 2015, when the earthquakes were here, was destroyed, and it's been rebuilt in that sense. Quite a different feel at Buddhanath, in the sense that there's stores all the way around the stupa, and so a lot more of the buying of symbols and Buddhas and things like that than we saw at the Hindu temple. But both very interesting in terms of understanding different faiths coming from a Christian perspective in that regard. This afternoon we've been travelling the streets by foot here in Kathmandu, and particularly Tamil, which is the area that we're staying in, and that's been quite amazing. The stores are just everywhere. There's colour everywhere. Places are selling spices, they're selling fruit and vegetable and meats. Many stores selling clothes. I even saw Macpac in one store. I'm not sure that it wasn't a Chinese rip-off. There's a lot of Chinese rip-off of name brands, quite a bit of Arc'teryx and others around the place. But an incredible experience this afternoon. Motorbikes everywhere, so you've got to really watch out where you're going, and of course people trying to sell you things on the street. But going as a group was less stressful in that regard, and so we've had a great afternoon looking around the area and seeing something that is culturally very, very different to Australia, and particularly Melbourne, where I come from. I have some absolutely awesome news. As you'd know, and as I've been talking about, in Nepal there's been incredible floods and rain here. Roads have been washed away. There was around 66 deaths, so it's been quite horrific in the sense of the flooding that has occurred. And in fact, the road to Ramachep, which is where we were expected to go to be able to fly out to Lukla tomorrow, has been closed. The bridge has been washed away by the river there. Many of the treks at the moment are cancelling and not going. It's quite difficult to get flights out of Kathmandu, but our guides have been absolutely incredible trying to work this out for us, and they put two options to us. One was we could fly out of Kathmandu to another remote airport and then try and fly to Lukla from there, but there's a risk that we could get stuck at a very remote place. Or we could pay a little extra. That extra, in my case, from an Australian perspective, is $500, and take a helicopter directly from Kathmandu to Lukla. So while it's costing more to do that, we're very thankful that the guides have been able to work that out for us in what has been a terrible time for Nepal in that sense. So super, super excited outside of that to be starting our trek tomorrow. As many of you know, this has been a lifelong dream for me, and you can probably see just over here, I've now got my official bag. You can see there, Highland Expeditions, and that's who we're going with. So we're going to pack about 10 kilos into here, another 5 on our back. We've just gone through about a 2-hour briefing, very, very detailed in terms of everything that we need to do. So tonight we're going out for a celebratory dinner that we're actually going to be able to do that. Huge relief in that sense. And then we'll come back and pack, and we will be out probably early tomorrow morning around about 5:30, and all being well, we'll be at Lukla for breakfast, and then we will be on the Everest Base Camp trek, staying over at Everest Base Camp. I could not be more excited that this is actually happening. It was just 3 weeks ago that this was an idea, and here I am in Kathmandu, and it's a reality. So yeah, we'll go through the packing a little later. I struggled to get to 10 kilos. I think I repacked that bag about 3 or 4 times that night. Probably the last one was at 3 a.m. in the morning, but finally we got there. Once you've put the sleeping bag in and your jacket, it doesn't leave much weight for anything else. In the end, I left a lot of food behind to get down to 10 kilos.
उडी गए म अर्कै ब्रह्माण्डमा म जहाँ जान्छु जहाँ हुन्छु त्यही मेरो सामुनै हुन्छौ तिमी